Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hi, my name is Teresa. I love all things makeup, beauty, skincare and also cats and psychology. I have a lot of passions in my life, but this channel is all about makeup, obviously, and I have just been in search for foundations these days. It's just become a little bit of a thing, and today I am looking at the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. Now this is a recommendation from my friend Daniela, and she said she wanted a video on it. So here you go. It's an all-day wear test and a first impressions. I obviously have it on right now, but I'm going to wear it throughout the day so you can see what it looks like. So if you want to see an overall video on this and a review and a wear test and see what it looks like in natural light, there's a lot of stuff in this video, then do please keep on watching. This is indeed the video for you. So my skin is prepped, and just as an FYI, I would generally be like a combo skin, so dry to normal, but it's winter at the moment, obviously, so my skin is a little bit more dry than usual, or at least it normally would be, but I have been hydrating the FUCK out of it. I've been very diligent on it. Now, I am also using retinol at the moment, so I have a couple of breakouts. Now, these are currently concealed. I've used my NARS pot for that. I've also put down some Dior concealer as well. But I want to give this a little go. My friend Daniela has really been recommending it to me, and she was like, I want to see you try it. So this is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. It's the Bare Focus Tinted Skin Veil. So apparently it's lightweight, non-greasing finish, sheer to medium, which, if you don't know, that tends to be my personal preference. I don't like very heavy foundation. So even though I do have spots, I'd almost prefer for people to see them, because I'm like, I'm totally cool with being a human being. That's grand with me. So it's sheer to medium, non-greasy, etc. And I got it in the shade Fair Pale. Now, I'm hoping this will work out okay for me. It does look like it is going to be about my skin tone. So I'm going to put a little bit of this out here. This is obviously going to be an all-day wear test. It's early enough in the day. You can see I haven't actually opened this at all, so it's a proper first impressions. So it is early in the day, yet it is winter here right now, so that does mean that I'm not going to get a massive amount of natural sunlight, but I still would like to kind of show this out in the natural light so you get a general idea of it, because I have a bunch of lights on and that will always make things look a little bit better. So I am using my new Flexi Face by my Kitco. It is actually fantastic. It's my Flexi Face Large. It's so good for foundation. And I will say it doesn't take up a bunch of the product either, which I quite enjoy. So initially, it's looking like it's a really good sort of a skin match for me. Don't worry, I'm going to take off my glasses as well, but let's have a little gawk. This is kind of the coverage that I would generally like. I feel like this is quite buildable. I do appreciate that it is a cheaper foundation, essentially. Just as an FYI, I have been so into looking at foundations these days. My girl Terry has also asked for another one to be looked at, but Daniela did ask for this one first. I'm getting a bit more choosy with my foundations as well as to what it is that I liked. Or like, not liked, that's past tense, Teresa, get your grammar correct. See what I mean about this brush? Absolutely fantastic. There's so little product left on it. By the way, I didn't find this myself. It was my friend Daniela who was like, you need to try these. And she basically gave me a list of ones that she thought I would like. She was like, she knows the sort of brushes that I have a tendency to go for. So she picked out a few for me. Okay. Do you know what? I like this because I do like something that's more sheer. It's very natural on me. I don't like something that is like super cakey. By the way, in case you're wondering, I am looking because I am blind. Oh, it is nice because it is like just my skin. We'll see how it wears. I'm going to add a little bit more. Oh God, I said a little and then I like squirted out a bunch. Teresa, you are not bright at all. Oh well, sure, look. You've had that. definitely put too much out, but I do like to have an extra bit of foundation because you see I can mix that then with contour and blushes, etc., to help things kind of blend out that little bit better. Not my trick, that's a trick from Daniela. She gives me all of this information and then I steal it and claim it as my own. But it's such a great little trick to know if you're ever struggling with blending stuff out, just to like mix it with your foundation. Seems like such an obvious little hack, but like, my goodness, how invaluable is it? This is a great match for my skin, actually. And as I said, I'm extremely pale. If we look at my shade match in other things, I tend to be like the lightest shade. Like, look at any foundation and go down to the very, very bottom. That's where I am. So if you're similar to me, this is probably going to work out quite well for you. I will say I've always kind of gone for more like cool undertones, but I think the more that I'm getting to know my skin, I think I might be more neutral leaning than cool toned. But who knows? I think it's just because I have like bits of redness because I'm, you know, Irish and inbred. So I kind of go, oh, I must be cool toned. Oh, yeah, I like this. It's mixing well with the concealer as well. I can still see the spots that I have, but as I said, I'm okay with that. That's my personal preference. I'm cool with showing my skin off for how it is. This is looking pretty good now. Obviously, I'm going to have to powder it, put all the rest of my products with it, but I will come back, show you what it looks like, and hopefully we'll go outside or at least find a different set of lights so that you can see this a little bit more normally. Who knows? So I used a bunch of products on my face after I used this. I used a cream contour, it's my ABH. I used a powder bronzer. I used a cream blush, a powder blush, loads of stuff. And I personally think it all meshed together really well. Like, how is this drugstore? What the hell? Now, of course, I have a bunch of lights on here right now, so that's going to make my skin look a hell of a lot better. That's just what it does. That's what it does. But I'm going to zoom you in so you can see angles of this a little bit more, because of course we're all about full transparency here. So first I want to talk about that shade match. I mean, it goes so well with my neck. I even had the confidence of wearing a low top, so it does show it's a pretty darn good match for me. Yes, it doesn't cover my pimples, but I'm totally fine with that. And look at how well, look at that highlighter. By the way, it's a rare beauty one. It's fabulous. And these rings are from ragdoll.ie over on Instagram. They're handmade. But if you can see there, it's not catching on any texture. It's not catching on my moustache. I did dermaplane though, so that helps. In terms of my forehead, it's looking pretty good. But as I said, I have a bunch of lights on, so that makes everything look a little bit better. I'm going to bring you out into the natural light so you can see what it looks like without all of these lights. And then after that, I'm just going to feck off and do my general day, and I'll report back to you with a wear test. Okay, so I'm out, believe it or not, in daylight. It is quite dark today. It's just, I think, you know, it's winter. But you can see what my skin looks like with this. Yes, as I said, I have blemishes and it does cover it to some extent, but it's not showing up texture horrifically bad. My lipstick is all over the place. I can never get it to go right there just because I have like a weird scar. Anyways, let's look at the forehead. Yeah, looking okay. I think it's blended very well with all of the other products. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like in natural light. I actually think this is quite nice. Now we'll see obviously how it wears, because that's going to be our biggest indicator. I will come back to you after about 8 hours at an absolute minimum. I'll let you know what it looks like and how it's breaking down. But so far, I'm pretty impressed for a drugstore brand. Not too bad. And I'm going to be super, super weird right now and just show you what my skin looks like under just my kitchen light. I don't care what you say. I think I look good. This is looking absolutely fantastic. My fringe is doing its own thing as per usual. But I mean, look at that. It blends so well with everything. Ugh. I mean, I'm very pale.
They could probably do a shade paler, but she looks good. She looks good.
I am back and it has been, believe it or not, 10 hours. I really went around with this for quite a big chunk of the day. I've been out and about, I've been on a couple of meetings, and I feel this has held up pretty darn well. I'm going to zoom you in now so you can see what it looks like. I usually have a bit of breakdown on the nose, around the chin, around the mouth, all the wear and tear sort of areas. So I'm going to zoom you in now so you can see what it looks like. So let's focus on the chin first. Tiny bit of breakdown, but nothing major. You can see some of my skin peeking through, but actually nothing major, and you'd have to be looking out for it. Yes, the spots are peeking out. That's because they're particularly angry. Coming up to the cheeks, actually is looking pretty good. I usually have a bit of gathering here under the nose, but it's looking pretty good, yeah. Again, other cheek, looking pretty good. The nose, that's right, have a little gawk at my nose. That has held up really, really well, because normally I see a little bit of separation, but this actually is looking pretty good. And then coming to the forehead, again, no major issues here. This is performing as well, if not better, than some high-end brands that I have tried so far this year. So that leads us to the overall review. I mean, I feel like the results kind of speak for themselves. 10 hours of wear in the winter. There's heating on. I've been walking around doing my own thing. Oh my goodness. By the way, you get 27 mls, so it's a decent amount of product. I think it was about €9 when I got it, because obviously Wet n Wild is a bit more expensive here because of import, etc. But my goodness, absolutely amazing. I'm genuinely like a bit shocked. Really, really good. And I'm kind of glad that I got to try it out when I have like loads of texture with spots, so you could get an idea of what that looks like. Does it like super, super cover them? No, because it's a sheer to medium. Now for me, I love sheer to medium. This is where we get into the whole like subjective thing. I think this looks nice. Now you could be looking at this and kind of going, it's not as full coverage as I would like. That's totally fine. Then my love, do not get this. It's not for you. If, however, you are like me and you like a sheer to medium, this is definitely the one for you. I feel like it's really nice and hydrating. I have a couple of lines, not actually too bad because I have been playing around with retinol, but I feel like it doesn't like show up any sort of like significant issues. Big question, would I purchase this again? Yes. 100%. I'm already like looking at this kind of going, I think you might be the one. Not the one, but like, you know, you're definitely one I like. Further to that, when I like showed Sahil my makeup, like he saw it eventually after a chunk of the day, he was like, oh, do you have your Dior on? Which again, if you've watched this channel for any period of time, you will know that when he says Dior, he just associates that with like best possible foundation. So when I told him it was a Wet n Wild and that it was only like €9, he was like, excuse me? Shut the F up. I was like, oh, that's exactly the sort of like reaction that I want. So he was saying it was really, really good. And he's very good at not lying to me about that sort of thing, because he will tell me that my skin looks trash if it looks like trash. Get yourself somebody who's honest. It is fabulous. In terms of mark out of 10, 10 has to be 10. I can't fault it. Price point, fantastic. Gives me the coverage that I like, which is not too much. Super, super hydrating, which is fantastic for this time of year. I literally cannot fault it. I think the only thing that would go against this is that it is, of course, Wet n Wild, and I don't believe they necessarily have a cruelty-free status. So if that's like super, super important to you, I'm afraid this won't be for you. It is vegan though, so it is a vegan product. So just keep that in mind. Now, personally, love this. Will definitely be getting this again. Does it have luxe packaging? No, but who cares? Who cares when it does this? Absolutely love it. 10 out of 10 would and will buy again. But anyways, my gorgeous friends, that's it. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and dealing with this entire wear test, seeing it in lots of different conditions. I super appreciate it. Do please like, comment and subscribe, just because it's polite and we're not in a rude society over here. And do please share, because sharing is caring, except of course for STDs, in which case just wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.